How my business allowed us to buy our house. Well, I started running my business in kind of a scrappy way. That's just kind of how I do things. And I took a huge leap of faith when I started my business. I actually quit my job and I quit my master's to start my business. If you don't know, I run a video business where I help experts create engaging course videos and marketing content. Now I'm teaching creative business owners how to launch their side hustle. There's another video on how I built my side hustle into a six-figure business, which breaks it down if you're interested. So here's how my business allowed us to buy our house. And I want to add this disclaimer. This is what we found to work for us. I am in no way a financial expert. I've always been good at saving, but I'm not an expert. This is what worked for us, and I hope that you can get some takeaways to apply to your business and your life. So first off, let's talk about how Mark and I positioned our finances from the get-go at the beginning of our marriage. So from the get-go, we found an amazing apartment with an amazing rent for that time. Most of our friends were paying $500, $600, $700 more than us. So initially we just got pretty lucky with our setup. And from there, we were also able to, and I understand that not everyone's going to be able to do this, but we were able to live off Mark's income alone. And so all of mine, that meant that all of mine was our savings and is what paid for our taxes when that time rolled around. So how can you apply this to your business and life? I would recommend have a budget and live within your means. Another thing that we did towards the beginning of our marriage, not really on purpose, but then it became on purpose, is that we share one car. His actually broke down soon after we got married, and then I had a Prius with a cat converter that got stolen, and so we had no car for a short period of time, and then we got a new car, a new to us car, and we were able to share it just because there's not many days. There's only a limited amount of days that I need to go out on a shoot, and he worked pretty close to where we lived, and so he was also able to e-bike to the office and work that way if I did need the car. Yeah, so another thing that we did is that we didn't buy a ton of new furniture. It just so happened when we got married, a lot of our furniture was Mod Podge together from either babysitter, I used to babysit, parents giving me stuff, or my dad actually moved out of our childhood home at the time, so most of our kitchen stuff ended up coming from his house. And then we would buy for other furniture at a thrift store. We chose to not go on a lot of vacations, or we didn't go on big ones, or if we did go on a cool vacation like Cabo, that was work ones that I could take Mark on. So we didn't spend thousands of dollars, traveling to Hawaii or Fiji, just being wise with saving more than spending. Another thing that we did is that we did not eat out a lot. What I tend to do is when I get gift cards for restaurants is I save them up and then kind of hide them from myself. And when it's date night, we could choose from, one of the gift card places that we had. So if we did go out, then we would spend a little bit of our cash, mostly what the gift card had on it. So that's a fun way to eat out. Another strategic thing is that we paid our entire credit card off every single month. We didn't let that build up because I know that there's a lot of fees that come with when you don't pay your credit card off every single month. So how can you apply this to your business or life? Be aware of places you can cut costs. And it's funny, the way that we kind of work in our marriage, I feel like every 6 months or so, I'd say like, hey, come on, let's go, look at the housing market. Let's go check out a house. Let's go put a down payment on. Just because I naturally was working with a lot of realtors at the time, learning about the market and the steps in which you buy a house and looking at the interest rates. And so I would say, hey, come on, let's go. And he'd either say, okay, let's check out what our money can buy us right now, or no, I don't feel like now's the right time. And yeah, we would just decide that moving forward. And it was hard. There was some times where I was like, I am ready and you are not, and this is frustrating. But together as a couple, we had to decide when it was right for us, which, it ended up being a really good time when we did buy. Another way that we structured our finances was that I made our savings money and would transfer it to our savings. And then Mark started playing with the stock market. And so that was a fun way for I know it's risky to do stocks, but he was really smart with asking financial investors, like, what are good stocks to invest in right now? What is the longevity of a good stock? And so he was able to make us money through even just investing our savings in the right stocks at the right time. Again, don't know that world at all, but he was able to time the market well, or ish, I say, okay. Okay, so now let's talk about how my business allowed us to save cash. So the first year of starting my business, I feel like everything I made pretty much went back into the business, buying the right gear, getting the right softwares to be able to set up my business to deliver the types of high quality videos that I wanted to deliver to my clients. Another really important thing is setting up your business properly. It takes time and research, but trust me, you want to do it right. So initially I was a sole proprietor, and then when I passed the threshold, I became an LLC, which we're in California, and my financial advisor had told me when I was predicting that I was going to make six figures, to definitely switch over to an LLC for tax purposes. Which I think is another interesting thing about our marriage and my business, is that I'm the one who does our taxes and is on the phone with the CPA, kind of figuring out the right numbers and the estimates and how to pay taxes and do all that efficiently and correct. And so when I would talk to Dave, our accountant, he would tell me, okay, if you're looking to save, then that means this, or if you want to show whatever, he would just give me the right advice to be able to position my business, and even put myself on salary, but at a lower rate so that there's more tax breaks. Another way that I set up my business was I eventually got a business credit card, and that was beneficial because then you can start getting points or, cash back systems. Depends on your banking, but that was a good way for me to be able to get points. And then again, just paying off the credit card fully every single month through the business account. And when I say setting up your business properly, it means sole prop, LLC, but also having a separate bank account for your business is super important, because it just gets really messy if your clients are paying you from your personal account and then you're also, buying groceries off that account. It's hard to track like how much income and how many expenses are actually related to the business. And so that's a very huge thing that I would highly recommend, is getting a business bank account. Even if you're like, I don't know, how long this is going. No, if you feel confident in your business, definitely get a bank account for it so that you can start seeing the income and the expenses and track everything in it and pay off the credit card fully every single month. This next one, I think it kind of goes in the same way of like, should you start a bank account? I don't really know. I'm kind of doubting if I'll actually make money. I think changing your attitude to be an attitude of abundance versus an attitude of greed. So this definitely took me time, but to realize that there is plenty of opportunity I'm a videographer. There's many videographers in Orange County, but there is plenty of business for all of us to do well. And rather than be greedy about your clients or about limited opportunities, practice a mindset of, there's plenty of opportunities out there. There's a lot of clients who want to and are willing to work with me. I have the potential to make money. I have the potential to be successful in this thing. Depends on how you grew up with finances, but I think there is a lot of mindset shifts that as business owners, we need to pivot, and realizing that seeing others succeed is a good thing and it can be motivating rather than, limiting. And that means there's less potential for me. Again, it's a mindset shift of there is abundance in the world, and money is something that goes around. There's plenty of clients for me and my competitor to both do well and succeed. And I think it's really important for you to see the potential in yourself. If you really work hard, it will pay off. We're 3 months into living here, and it's still crazy to me that my business was able, and our finances were able to get us a house in Southern Orange County and own a house, be building our equity in this, because I wanted this for so long and I set my mind on it. And again, it's just that like setting a big goal and knowing that if you work hard, it will be really hard, but it will pay off and you will keep figuring it out as you go. Something that I think people don't really talk about is just being a good human while running a business. Like invoicing and having patience for a client to pay it. Okay, you might invoice on a Monday and yeah, it might not get paid by Friday. So you need to be patient, but realize that, if your contract said you will get paid, then you will get paid. And rather than being rude and harsh and demanding money right away, just be patient and realize that, every business owner has a lot going on. And so they might have seen your email, but they'll get back to it. In the second year of my business, it was 2020, which actually boomed my business because everyone wanted to get online. The importance of getting online was really, really important. I think by that time, too, my referrals were getting out and other business owners were seeing my work. And so it's, again, just being patient with putting the work in, doing a good job on projects, and then knowing that, referrals might come in a year from now, but they will come if you do a good job. So those are some of the ways that my business was structured and set up for us to be able to save for a home. A few more things I might want to touch on is just, I spent the first year kind of getting my gear, getting the right supplies and tools for my tool belt. And I could continue to get more and more and more and increase, but really there is just, for whatever creative business you're in, I think there is a cap where there is enough and you don't need to get the newest tool and the newest gadget to be appealing. If you're doing a good job, if you're making good work, if you're showing that good work, people will see it. This is what worked for Mark and I and my business in being able to save up enough money for us to buy a home. I hope you can get a tidbit away from it and apply it to your life and business. All right, catch you later.